Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 17 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com and my MySpace and the YouTube page. Thank you everyone for watching the interview with Rob Van Dam, all 3 parts of it. I know you guys were waiting for that and I appreciate you guys being patient with us and having Aaron get it up there for us, but he wanted to make sure he edited it just right for you guys, and he wanted to make sure all 3 parts got up, and we know that Rob has watched it now. He loved it, and thank you very much, RVD, for your time that day, and let's get right into your questions. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for me to answer your own questions, so here we go. First one is from Neil. Just wondered, do you reckon that WWE will ever do a pay-per-view in the UK like SummerSlam 92 again? That's a good question. I've heard rumors over the years that they're going to do another pay-per-view in the UK after, actually, the original last pay-per-view in the UK after SummerSlam 92 was one night only. And No Mercy in 99, and there were a couple more in the UK as well. But I don't think they're going to have just a regular pay-per-view in the UK anymore. I think they're going to leave their pay-per-views to the North America, Canada, and the United States to be specific. I don't think they're going to do a pay-per-view in Mexico. Just don't see that happening. I think that they're going to do overseas tours in the UK like they have done in the last few years, and they'll do overseas tours in, Australia and Japan and, Santiago, Chile, and all these other places. But I don't think you're going to see a pay-per-view in any of those places, just because pay-per-views are done in North America, and that's how they, that's how they save money, to be honest with you. Because having a pay-per-view from the UK costs a lot more money to produce. SCMA San Diego, or SCMA Diego, I guess. I don't know. Who are your top 5 greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time? He wants a top 5, Aaron. Alright, we'll do a top 5. We haven't done a top 5 in a long time. Top 5, that's right. Thank you for the help there, Jade. Appreciate that. Anyway, in no particular order, because I don't have an order of them right now. Honky Tonk Man, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect. Those are my top 5. If I had to pick a number 1, I'd have to go with Mr. Perfect. I love Mr. Perfect. I love Kurt Hennig as the Intercontinental Champion. He was a great Intercontinental Champion. He was a great secondary champion to Hulk Hogan's WWF champion back in the day. And I think he was the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Despite Honky Tonk Man being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, you gotta go with Mr. Perfect as the greatest of all time. Just my opinion, though. Alright, this one's from Aaron, not Rift. First off, I want to say thanks for the ad, Mr. Meacham. LOL, I know you're a fan of Kennedy. Anyways, the question I have for you is, hopefully I'll answer it on the show, that would be awesome, is what do you think of John Morrison? I happen to be a really big fan of his, and I hope he gets a really big push as a champion again. Do you think he will get another title run, and if so, what show do you think he'll be on? I like John Morrison. I like the character. I think his attire leaves a little to be desired, to be honest with you. His attire is still very much Johnny Nitro-like, but I like John Morrison. I really do. I think he's a great WWE Tag Team Champion right now with The Miz. I think they're a good team. They play off each other well. And I think that he may be a champion again in ECW someday. I don't see him being a champion on SmackDown or Raw again unless they move him to SmackDown or Raw. But I think as long as he's in ECW, he will be ECW champion again, hopefully. This is from Chris. It's K-R-I-Z. I'm assuming it's Chris. Maybe it's Chris, maybe it's Chris. I don't know. Who do you think will get the Cruiserweight title? I think they should have a Cruiserweight open with all active Cruiserweights. Who do you want to get the title, and what kind of match would they win it in? Personally, Jamie Noble. I like to see Jamie Noble get the Cruiserweight title back. He deserves it. He's been put through hell in the last couple of months with Palumbo. And I think that if they are going to reactivate the title, it should be Jamie Noble or Jimmy Wang Yang. Jimmy Wang Yang also deserves a Cruiserweight Championship by far. He's been the most noted Cruiserweight on SmackDown lately. He's been atop the tag team ladder with Shannon Moore, not Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin's on ECW now. Shannon Moore and Jimmy Wang Yang are both top Cruiserweights, but I think the guy that really deserves it is Jamie Noble. I agree with the thing about having a Cruiserweight open, but not a Battle Royal. Have like a gauntlet match, like Gauntlet for the Gold like in TNA, or a Gauntlet Battle Royal, or whatever you want to call it in WWE, and just have them go one at a time until 2 guys are left, and then whoever wins that is the champion. I think that's a good idea. This is from Ryan. I have a question that you may be able to help with. Was the WWF Hardcore title the same belt that was the old heavyweight title that Mr. Perfect and the Genius busted up with a hammer back in the old WWF days? No. Thank you for that question. No, the WWF Hardcore title was a Winged Eagle belt, just like the Heavyweight Championship that was used in the 80s and the 90s, but it was not the same title that Mr. Perfect and the Genius busted up. They actually took a Winged Eagle belt and destroyed it on purpose, believe it or not. I read that on Wikipedia. You can check it out yourself on Wikipedia. They actually created the Hardcore title out of scratch. They grabbed a Winged Eagle belt and they used it and they defaced it and they destroyed it and they messed it up and turned it into the Hardcore Championship. That's the God's honest truth. They did not use one that they used in the 80s. They used a brand new belt. Ray Jones wants to know if there's any chance of MVP turning babyface. I don't see. Yeah, thank you for the sticker there, Jade. And thank you for the feedback. I don't see MVP turning babyface anytime soon. MVP is a great heel. He's a great heel United States champion. He's great overall. I like the MVP character. I always have. I like the entrance. I like the cockiness. I like the attitude. I like the skill. I like everything about him. But I don't like him as a babyface. It's not going to work. Even having him as a tweener when he was teaming with Matt Hardy was kind of like, okay, what's up with that? I think MVP is going to be a heel as long as he's on SmackDown, as long as he's in WWE, period. I don't see him turning face ever. Ever. Quote me on that. Speaking of Matt Hardy and MVP, in a fantasy match, who will win the Guitar Hero 3? Matt Hardy or MVP? That's a great question. I love it. Well, they've done everything else. They really have. So why not have them play Guitar Hero 3 against one another? I think Jade's right, though. I think it'll be Matt Hardy. Strictly because Matt Hardy has the more musical background, I think, and Matt Hardy has the musical brother, Jeff Hardy. And I'm sure Jeff Hardy could train him in Guitar Hero 3 if he doesn't know how to play already. So I definitely see Matt Hardy winning the Guitar Hero 3. If it was the original Guitar Hero, maybe MVP. But Guitar Hero 3, the new Guitar Hero, gotta go with Matt Hardy. Let's see. Big J. How might a person learn some examples of what kinds of workout and diet routines some of the WWE TNA superstars follow? Well, I know Triple H put out a book about that, Making the Game, Triple H's workout routine, that I gave to Jade and she gave back to me. I think that's a good book to read because not only is it a biographical book about Triple H, but it also has a lot of workout and diet stuff. I, for one, follow a diet kind of when I go out and eat out fast food. I generally tend to eat the chicken sandwiches as opposed to the burgers just because, it's not good for you, personally. You guys don't believe me, but shut up. It's true. I do, too. Leave me alone. Every time I go to Staples Center, I have the chicken sandwich at McDonald's, not the burgers. Honestly, I know some of the divas put out their diet routines on their blogs on WWE.com. You can check those out.
Which one?
Yeah. Michelle does, I think. Michelle does. Candace does. I think Mickie James did when she had a blog. I'm not sure, though. You have to check that out for yourself. Yeah. Alright, this is from Javier. There's talk that WWE are thinking about bringing back the Nasty Boys. What do you think about that? I love that. Bring back the Nasty Boys. Absolutely. Knobs and Sags. One of my favorite tag teams of all time. I love these guys to death. I think if they both stay in shape and they both have a good attitude about it, they can have a good nostalgic run. They won't have a good tag team title run, don't get me wrong. But I think they'll have a good nostalgic run and a good nostalgic feel with their run in WWE if they do come back. I think they worked a couple of dark matches a few months ago from what I remember, and they did pretty well. So I think that if they come back, it'll be a good like nostalgic type feel, but I don't think they'll be back permanently by any means. Yeah. Let's see. This one's from John on MySpace, who's online right now on MySpace. On one of the future episodes of Talk Wrestling, can you share some of your experiences you have had with wrestlers at autograph sessions, seeing them in public places, etc.? Well, let's look no further than our last guest, RVD. We first met Rob about 3 years ago. We got his phone number from somebody. I don't remember who it was now. I think Mike ended up getting the phone number for us, but I could be wrong. And we called him, and he said, come on down to the store down here. And at the time, it was Lakewood, the Lakewood Center Mall. where the little small store was, and we met Spike Dudley there, who was really nice, and yeah, it was a really good time. We had a great interview with him. He won Guest of the Year that year for the interview we did with us, and we really enjoyed having RVD on the show. We've loved having him on the show since, all shows that I've done with him. And another person I met at the RVD 5-Star Comics was Bobby the Brain Heenan, who was incredibly nice to me. He signed both of his books to me, and he accepted the award for Guest of the Year for 2003. When I saw him in 2004, in April 2004 for WrestleMania weekend. I think it was either March or April, I don't remember which one. I think it was March 2004 before WrestleMania that year. It was really cool to see Bobby, and really cool to actually meet him in person instead of just talking to him on the phone. And I hope he gets well soon. God bless you, Bobby. If you're watching or you hear about this show, God bless you. Take care of yourself. Get the surgeries and get out of that hospital. And we all love you out here on the outside, and take care of yourself. Another person we met at RVD's 5-Star Comics with Jade is Trish Stratus. We met her. What are you doing?
Crashing a can over my head. What is that?
Oh, the Sandman. That's right. I forgot about the Sandman. Anyway.
How could you forget about him?
That's true. Because we had dinner with the Sandman. Aaron was there for that.
You almost got choked out with his cane, or with your cane.
Yeah, he got choked out with my own cane with the Sandman. And that was fun. Sandman is a very nice guy. He tends to drink a lot. No doubt about that. But he's a cool guy. Very cool guy. Trish was incredibly sweet to us, despite the staff not being so sweet.
Survey says.
Yeah, exactly. The staff at RVD's cover was not so cool that day, but Trish was incredibly nice, incredibly sweet, incredibly understanding of everybody's needs. It was really great to see her.
And she wanted my top.
And she wanted Jade's top. She wanted to wear it on Raw the next night. We ended up not doing the top swap because that would have been kind of embarrassing.
Everything else to wear.
Everything else to wear for Jade. Well, you could have worn Trisha's shirt with the Rosie the Riveter shirt on it. You could have worn that.
That's true. No, I want to get a free Trish shirt.
A free Trish shirt. There you go. Exactly.
Oh, well. Next time.
All right. This is from Johnny Watts. What do you think of Colt Cabana and Matt Sidal? Will they be heading to the main roster anytime soon? And what do you think of them personally? Colt Cabana is a friend of the show. Colt Cabana we had on Ringside Insanity back in the day. He was one of the original guests on Ringside Insanity. We met him at PWG in 2007, his last PWG show before he went to WWE. And he's a great talent. He's a great worker. I love Colt Cabana. I loved him on WSX when he was Matt Classic. Great gimmick. Colt Cabana's gimmick itself is a great gimmick. I love that gimmick as well. I don't know how they're going to use him in WWE, but we'll see what happens. What do you think? This is from Ian. Let's see. Ian Reverend Miller. What do you think of Abyss taking his mask off in TNA? Personally, I think after all the years he's worn it, and just taking it off all of a sudden might be a two-edged sword for him. It can really boost his career or just end up hampering it. What do you think? Personally, I think the Abyss character has kind of run its course. I think the Abyss character has done everything he's going to do in TNA. He's been world champion. He's been tag team champion. I don't think there's anything further for the Abyss character to go. I think by taking off the mask and coming back eventually as Chris Parks, it'll be good for his career. It'll be rejuvenation of his career. And I think that Abyss, a.k.a. Chris, will have a career rejuvenation, as I said. He will benefit from this. I don't think he'll be detracted by this at all. I don't think he'll suffer from this at all. I think it can only help him at this point. Byron? Let's see. Can't see it. Brian Sanders. There we go. Jeff, do you think between now and the end of Shawn Michaels' career that he will have the WWE title at least one more time? No, I don't. I think that Shawn Michaels is nearing the end of his career, much like Ric Flair is. I think Shawn Michaels' this year will be his last year. And I think that he will go out with a bang. I don't think he'll go out as WWE champion, but I think he'll go out at WrestleMania next year, WrestleMania 25 in Houston. But it's going to be the Reliant Center, I guess, from what I understand, the Reliant Stadium. And I don't think he'll be WWE champion, but I think he will go out as only Shawn Michaels can go out, stopping the show and being the showstopper. That's what I see happening with Shawn Michaels. This is from Vinny. Do you think the Ultimate Warrior will be inducted in this year's Hall of Fame? Hell no.
Who?
The Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, God.
No way. Warrior will not be in the Hall of Fame this year. Not going to happen. Warrior and WWE are not talking. They're not going to be friends anytime soon. I don't think you'll ever see the Warrior inducted unless there's a serious reach of compromise between the two. And I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. it's just not likely. And that's a God's honest truth. I don't think that's likely at all.
Like Owen?
Like Owen. Owen's family will not let him be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd like to see Owen in the Hall of Fame. I'd like to see Warrior in the Hall of Fame. Actually, I don't like to see Warrior in the Hall of Fame. I don't like the Warrior very much. But no, I don't see him being in the Hall of Fame anytime soon. Another question from Vinny is, what do you think about Cena's comments about The Rock in an interview with The Sun? Yeah, as you all know on NoDQ.com, John Cena made some very disparaging remarks about The Rock, saying he pisses me off, and how can he not come back, and da-da-da. I think that Cena stepped over the line, to be honest with you. I think that it was not Cena's place to say that, unless he was trying to start something with The Rock as far as storyline-wise, which in that case, it's stupid. I think it's really retarded that they did that, but if it's not, then it's just stupid on Cena's part to have done that in the first place. I don't see it being beneficial to anybody. I don't see it being good for anybody, PR-wise. And I don't think it's a good idea to have that happen. I think Cena stepped over the line with his comments. Just my opinion, though. Again, it's my show. It's my opinion. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Next episode of Talk Wrestling, we're going to do WrestleMania predictions. So be sure you tune in to NoDQ.com, my MySpace at myspace.com/Jeff Meacham, and YouTube page at NoDQCAW. And for now, that's it for Talk Wrestling. Bye-bye.